This game is shaping up to be one of the Game of the Year nominees for sure, 100%, definitely for me. We got a run it back preview of 007. IGN wanted to talk about it again, and we already know the main highlights for this game: 20 hours, replayable like Hitman, Arkham Melee combat, Uncharted set pieces, and it released May the 27th, bro. I cannot wait for 007 for real. So we're gonna see what IGN got, what else they got to say about the game, because this, when we get information about it, I want to see about it. I don't care what they really say, but if it's positive, it's good. If it's negative, we're gonna just have to experience ourselves. So let's see what they talk about. Second take preview.
If I'm being honest, I must say that I didn't exactly love the way the last run of Bond films wrapped up. To be clear, I'm not down on Daniel Craig. In fact, like many fans, I'm of the opinion that he's the best to ever take the role.
The name's Bond.
Daniel was good.
But there's no question that his 5-film run as 007 had more ups and downs than an Aston Martin's ejector seat. Casino Royale and Skyfall are surely two of the very best entries in the entire 60-year canon.
But how you did like Daniel Skyfall? Just I stopped at the right spot. This was my favorite. This is like one of my favorite ones. It's another one. It's an old one that I really like, but Skyfall is like one of my favorite ones, bro. Like, how you don't like Daniel Craig, man? Like, I mean, I guess. I guess. Hey, yeah, your opinion.
Quantum of Solace was undercooked. Spectre was one fat bastard away
Spectre
from
was
being
cool.
an Austin Powers style parody.
It's always been me, the author of all your pain.
Shut your cake hole. Come on, let's go on your bike.
And although No Time to Die course corrected to some extent, its bloated length and bleak tone has meant that I haven't felt the need to return to it since its 2021 release. No Time to Die? More like No Time to Rewatch.
That really was a blow.
After a 3-hour hands-on with 007 First Light at a recent Bilibili First Look event in Shanghai, my biggest takeaway from IO Interactive's upcoming spin on Ian Fleming's Super Spy series is that it feels like the fresh start that Bond fans deserve. We're now 5 years on from the end of the Daniel Craig saga, and with precious few confirmed details surrounding the next big screen outing for Bond, besides the welcome hiring of Dune director Denis Villeneuve, it appears unlikely we'll be getting a new Bond movie for another 2 years at least.
I know.
Now I will say yes. Before he even say anything, now I am okay with a recast James Bond. After this game come out, a recast for James Bond is well needed for sure. For sure, it would not be a bad idea to do that, because First Light is shaping up to be honestly a spinoff for the next film. We can have a First Light film. Hey, listen, I'm gonna say it right now. We can have a first James Bond First Light movie coming out. Come on now.
Being the longest break between Bond movies in the series history.
Yeah,
Thus,
2021.
The imminent release of 007 First Light could not be better timed, and I'm pleased to say that from what I've played so far, I couldn't imagine a better way to break the big Bond drought.
Yes, man. All right, Tristan, don't piss me
Of
off.
course, if we're talking Bond games, the wait for a new release has been exponentially longer. And
too long.
Given the last Bond game was the thoroughly dreadful 007
2012?
Legends in 2012,
I ain't played it.
the wait for a good Bond game has been even longer still. Don't just take my word for it, take my word for it from 14 years ago.
It's simply a disaster. There hasn't been a product so ill-fitting of James Bond since Sean Connery's girdle in Never Say Never Again.
Now with IO Interactive, it feels like we're finally back in safe hands. With its Hitman series, the Danish developer has more or less been...
I'm going to be honest with you. I think once I get my hands on James Bond and when we finish it, I think that when I'm going to visit Hitman. I have not played any Hitman games. I wanted to play Hitman, but since how May looking, I'm getting Lego Batman. I'm okay we're going to revisit this during the summer because ain't nothing coming out during the summertime. So I'm going to revisit the Hitman series to just check it out and see how it feels. But definitely I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it.
Games in all but name for well over 2 decades at this point. And its expertise in stealth and subterfuge certainly seems more tailor-made for 007 than a Tom Ford suit.
That's good, man. That's good.
From the books to the big screen, the team's love and respect for the source material is clear in First Light.
Come on! Stick with the source material, bro. I'm going to keep saying it, man. You love it when they follow the script, bro. Just look at the source material. That's all you got to do. You don't need to try to think outside the box. When you got the source material, you can pull from there. It's way easier to build with the source material. These game devs need to do this because there's some games that they wasn't looking at the source material. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to throw no shade to
homage to the character's origins, such as the way its fresh-faced Bond gains a permanent scar in the story's opening mission, much like the one described in Ian Fleming's first novel but never portrayed in the films. At the same time, IO is demonstrating considerable restraint so as not to be too slavish to the series' signature hallmarks. You won't hear Monty Norman's iconic Bond theme rattled out during each and every shootout like so many Bond games of yesteryear. Instead, it's held back to properly punctuate his most outrageous stunts, like when he slips behind the wheel of a garbage truck at the end of the story's Kensington mission to barrel through a sequence of hastily improvised roadblocks.
Don't worry, I'll take good care of
that. I can't wait to hear that, bro.
Approach makes it all the more exhilarating when
That's
those
good.
iconic orchestral
They use it when needed. I
also appreciate that IO is putting just as much effort into building the world around Bond as it is into regularly blowing it up. Though the Kensington mission surges from a breathtaking sniper battle to a basement-level boss fight, and Bond's eventual belligerent escape through crush hour traffic, it begins relatively sedately with 007's return to the apartment he shares with 2 other young MI6 operatives. Right. Since I'd just taken multiple runs through First Light's training course in Malta, all of which began with stealthy intentions but inevitably devolved into scrambling Uncharted-style firefights,
yeah, man, this game looks good.
For a bit of a breather in Bond's humble dwellings before the gun and gadget-based carnage continued. While the mandated use of IO's supplied footage means I can't show you the specifics, there are countless cute touches to pore over here. An unfinished game of Hangman sits on the kitchen table, seemingly spelling out the words poison tip umbrella. On Bond's bedroom bookshelf are manuals about tying nautical knots, presumably from his naval days, as well as a book on ornithology.
Yeah, Die Another Day. There you go. There you go. Die Another Day. There you go. That's one of my favorites too.
Birdwatcher from the beginning.
Yes.
There's also a photo of a young Bond with his parents and a silver brooch left by his late mother to study up close. I can't really recall a previous Bond game that has taken the time to flesh out 007's character to this extent, and, although it may sound somewhat minor in the scheme of things, I genuinely enjoyed these small touches just as much as the ensuing over-the-top action spectacle. You can even stop to mix yourself a cocktail at the drinks cabinet.
You know, that's not half bad.
That's cool.
The many tiny yet vital details like this really helped me to quickly buy into this new Bond, as did the drama of the opening naval mission in Iceland that goes awry and lays the platform for his recruitment into MI6. IO's decision to make this an origin for the youngest ever Bond, not counting James Bond Jr. because of course I'm not, means that everything that would otherwise come across as a tired trope is instead presented in a fresh light, or indeed a first light.
I thought you'd be older.
Sorry to disappoint.
No, you haven't.
We get to experience the intensity and hesitance of Bond's first kill, the first time that he charms his way into a private party, and the first time he absently sips from a poisoned glass of champagne because he's too distracted by a new female friend. That then leads to Bond's first chair-bound interrogation that uses a nifty provoke and stall minigame to create a level of tension very much on par with the not-so-friendly private chat with Le Chiffre in Casino Royale.
Casino Royale,
mercifully
really good.
minus the wince-inducing knotted rope wax to Bond's dangling double O's.
To the right! To the right! To the right!
You are a funny man, Mr. Bond.
All of it feels entirely new to the character, reinforced by a performance from actor Patrick Gibson that has the cocky confidence of youth, but
Patrick
perhaps not
Gibson,
all of the
okay.
wisdom of experience.
You have less than 1%.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember his name.
Down.
I'll take those odds.
Bond.
I won't pretend that I'm enamored with absolutely every aspect of First Light, however. For starters, I'm not completely convinced by its melee combat. It's rough and tumble as proper Bond fisticuffs should be, and I love the way that during a scrap you can grab anything within reach to crack over an assailant's skull.
Okay, this is
Whether
why
it's
you...
bottles and cups from the countertop in Bond's kitchen apartment, or pool balls from the breakout area in the art museum's security wing. But it also feels somewhat loose and clumsy at times, especially against multiple foes. Although I might get used to it with a bit more practice, I definitely struggled to get into a consistent groove with Bond's brawling versus smoothly headshotting henchmen or triggering environmental hazards with the Q-Watch, both of which I felt comfortable with almost immediately. Speaking of the gadgets, it also strikes me as being a little bit stingy that you can only get a few uses out of the high-tech tools supplied by
Stingy!
before you need to manually recharge them. Bond's Q-Watch can be used to temporarily blind guards with a zap of a laser,
Oh, man.
or to drop chandeliers from the ceiling in order to lure them away from their post.
He want to spam it.
But the use of each sneaky skill results in a substantial hit to Bond's watch battery. I can understand the need to put restrictions on the player so that they're not constantly triggering technological traps like they're home alone in an Apple store. But even so, it does feel a little bit video gamey to regularly stop what you're doing in order to rummage around for conveniently placed car batteries in an attempt to scrounge up some juice.
Wait a minute. Video gamey? Did he just say that? He said it felt video gamey. All right, Tristan, bro. I'm gonna let it ride, man. But I mean, you is playing video games, sir.
Putting on a good show, Bond.
Bond's gadgets should feel cutting edge. Not like they all have the battery stamina of a 5-year-old iPhone you keep in your desk drawer on the off chance a new one.
And it feel cutting edge.
Timer,
bro, it's a video game. Why do you want it to feel you spamming the hell out his watch? You want to constantly have an unlimited battery to spam the abilities from the watch. So now you don't want nothing. You don't want no restrictions, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, it got to have something. Like, I get it, but come on. This is a game, not a movie.
Will have sufficed. Still, much like the scar on Bond's cheek, these small blemishes don't really detract from the overall appeal of First Light, and unlike his power-hungry gadgets, I've come away from my hands-on completely energized and desperately keen to see more. I can't wait to see how the mischievous sense of humour regularly on display in IO Interactive's Hitman games translates to a potentially calamitous tour of MI6's Q branch. I'm dying to get behind the wheel of the new Aston Martin Valhalla, which is a hybrid for the first time in the series because apparently even super spies aren't immune to the current oil crisis. I also couldn't help but notice that the signature gun barrel graphic was conspicuously absent from First Light's opening.
Really? Oh,
which makes me wonder exactly which major moment in this origin story is such an iconic sequence being saved for.
Yeah. They could be holding
soon
it.
enough, since 007 First Light is set to arrive on PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series XS on May 27th, with a Switch 2 version set to release sometime later in the year. It's been a long time between drinks for fans of James Bond games, but from what I've seen so far, this one is set to go down more smoothly than a freshly shaken martini.
Yes, sir.
For more 007 First Light, be sure to check out our.
That been cool. It was an okay, it was an okay discussion about it. I'm not too mad about him, but hey, it's all good. But yeah, First Light, man, this is pretty much going to be a layup for Patrick. So if First Light actually be really good and everybody really enjoy this game like I will, this might be a good setup for Patrick to be the next James Bond in the movies. if this gonna be it, bro, I am cool with it because now we see him in the video game world, and then now he will be in the movie world. And then, like I said, if this gonna be like the start of to bring back the film, I am okay to recast the James Bond, bro. It is okay to recast him because he was James Bond for a long time. So we shall see. We shall see. First Light is on the way. Cannot wait, guys. Let me know how y'all feel about what he had to say about the game and what y'all guys think about First Light in the comments down below. But if y'all haven't checked this video out yet, make sure you watch this one, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.